Hey all, welcome to the CIOPCC in this week's Top 10. Now, today, January 29th, is National Puzzle Day. I didn't know that, but it seems appropriate that we do my Top 10 Riddler action figures. Now you'll notice I said action figures, not busts, not statues. If we were doing those, that tweeter head up there would be number one. But we're not doing those. You're going to see no busts or statues. We're doing action figures. And I'm going to start out with the 66 series. Now, McFarlane, as you know, has given us three of those. There's the boxing one. That he did the ones with and without the mask. But I'm actually going to go with the Mattel release in my number 9 spot. Or my number 10 spot. The reason for that is the articulation. I'll admit the sculpting on the head is not quite as nice on the Mattel version as it is on the McFarlane version. But I like the fact that he's a way more posable action figure than what McFarlane has given us. So he's going to get my number 10. You can see he's wearing the leotard. Generally, we got either the leotard or the suit. So really the only two looks that the poor Riddler has ever really gotten. At least with the next number, my number 9, they went a little further with design. Here we have the Batman. In the Batman version, he's got the leotard on, but it's a lot more of a goth look. And I think they captured that pretty well from the show in this action figure. So he's going to get number 9. Now, let's go back over here to number 8 and talk about DC Direct. They gave us a whole bunch. As you can see, there's in the leotard. There's a more classic version in the leotard. But it's the suit version right over here that is getting my number 8. I love this pose. Remember, when you're dealing with DC Direct action figures, you're pretty much stuck with the pose they're sculpted in. I happen to like this one a lot. I think it's a really classy look for the Riddler. Always been a really classy character. Now, when Kenner did the superpowers, they did do a Riddler in the line. It was part of the Super Amigos because it was done under license with them down in Mexico. When Mattel did these Superpowers 6-inch figures with the standard DC Universe body, they did do a Super Amigos Riddler. So he's going to get my number 7 spot. It's pretty cool that they did that one. You're going to see the DC Universe body show up here again in a few minutes. But what's better than the Super Amigos Mattel release? Well, the Super Amigos Kenner release. So here we have the carded version of the Super Amigos Riddler that is really part of the Superpowers collection from Kenner. That gets my number 6 spot. Another vintage figure gets my number 5 spot. That is the Mego Riddler. He's down here. Mine's not in fantastic shape. I don't have a huge Batman Mego collection, but I do have pretty decent Riddler. He's got his belt still. Suit's in reasonable condition. And he's a really cool figure. He gets number 5. Number 4, we're going to talk about the animated series here for a minute. Now, Diamond Select did the version in the leotard from New Adventures. But it's the suit again, which you're going to see. I really do love that suit. Who's getting the spot over him. There he is carded. This is the Diamond Select version. I think this design is my favorite of all the Riddler designs. And they did a much better job than Kenner did with the same design, I think. So he gets number 4. Now remember I said you would see the DC Universe showing up again? Well, you're going to see them take both the number 3 spot and the number 2 spot. 3 goes to the suit version. While I generally like the more sophisticated suit look for the Riddler, I don't love the head sculpt on this one quite as much. But, again, this line is like one of my all-time favorite lines in history. So, it's not surprising that their 2 Riddlers are going to do really well. But it is the leotard version that takes the number 2 spot. Because I do like the head sculpt a little bit better. Still, it's the fact that how much I love this whole overall line that influences me quite a bit. But number one is going to come out of left field. It's actually a custom from Charlie Flat. For those of you who collect flat customs, you remember Charlie. This is his Riddler. Mego style customizer. Did some amazing head sculpts. Really cool work. Did some really great costume work. You can see this fits in nicely with the Batman next to him. Both from Charlie. So Charlie Flat, Riddler, number one. So those are my top 10 Riddlers. Let me know if you have a particular Riddler action figure that you really love. Maybe something else from DC Direct. Something from one of the other shows. Maybe a Jim Carrey in 6 scale. I never did pick up one of those third-party releases. And until Wednesday, when we do another feature collection, make sure you subscribe and have a great week.